If no question is there, then I will move to the last presentation of this technical session. I will call NAMRATA GHOSH. Are you present?
Good evening, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
Please
sir.
present your presentation on well-being of captive felines with a special focus on tigers and zoos.
Okay, sir. Very good evening to respected chairperson, respected teacher. Sir, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Yes.
Just make the
Just
slide show.
because the
Sir,
slides are
actually,
very
I had some technical.
Okay, this is
Sorry, ma'am.
PDF.
Actually, I had some technical problems regarding my PPT software.
Fine, fine. Namrata,
So,
you just send this PDF to me.
okay, okay, sir. Okay, sir. Sir, sending, sir. Sir, do you have any Outlook mail ID, sir?
No, I have Gmail only. You can send
Okay.
it by WhatsApp also.
What's sir? Just a second.
Namrata has several technical glitches from her side, so she can't share that PPT right now. So she will be presenting in PDF mode on the phone. Please carry on, Namrata.
Uh, very good evening to respected chairperson, respected teachers, my colleagues. I am here to present today my topic, which is based on enriching lives well-being for captive felines with respect to Bengal tigers in North Bengal Wild Animals Park. So my study site is North Bengal Wild Animals Zoological Park, which is popularly known as Bengal Safari, and it is located near Siliguri, which is one of the second metropolitan cities of West Bengal, second largest. And the study sample presently it involved five Royal Bengal tigers, including one adult female along with four cubs, and the total sample population presently consists of within our facility 18 approx 18 including adult and cub Bengal tigers. And the objectives of the study of implication of enrichments for felines with respect to Bengal tigers in North Bengal Wild Animals Park are as follows. The first objective was to evaluate the efficacy of different types of enrichment which we are using to improve the behavioral welfare as well as the well-being of the tigers housed within our zoo. Then, and the second objective was to identify and categorize different types of enrichment which we are utilizing and which we will be utilizing in different time periods within our zoo. Then to quantify behavioral changes within the environment, captive environment, which the animal produce in response to different type of enrichment interventions within its existing facility through standardized ethograms. And the main focus of creating these orthograms was to study the pre and post enrichment changes, behavioral changes such as reduction in stereotypic behavior, as well as increase in the species typical behaviors within the facility, a captive facility. And also to provide recommendations for different types of enrichment protocols to promote naturalistic welfare of captive tigers in zoo tiger populations. So, the methodology which I have been implicating during my study period is to review the published studies based on the different enrichments employed for captive felines, then focal animal sampling, field visits to my selected tiger facility site, and along with it, instantaneous scan sampling I have been doing, then interviews with the zoo staff and keepers, and behavioral observation logs through ethograms. Why enrichment is important within a tiger facility through why an enrichment is required within a captive facility, especially for felines, because these captive felines, they live in a confined spaces. They are devoid of their natural diet, as well as there is a huge amount of visitor stress, as well as the confined area stress, as well as there is changes in their behavioral as well as feeding ecology also. So to improve all this, to address to all these factors and to improve the well-being of the tigers, these there lies the importance of enrichment. So there has been seen that through enrichment's employability, we have seen the reduction in stress, behavioral improvement, as well as increased in their activity budgets. So these are the following types of enrichments which we have done for the tigers in captivity, such as sensory enrichments, introduction of novel scent items like spices, blood of shaven, feces of ungulate species, and some visual stimuli such as stainless steel mirrors. And then food-based enrichments we have done like puzzle feeders and chicken carcass feedings, as well as some varied diets, and some goat carcass feedings also. Then some physical structural enrichments which we have done like climbing structures, poles, hanging and scratching points, change in the varied type of substrates within the enclosure as well as the safari, and introduction of different types of pools with different types of within the facility. Presently, we have, sorry, I forgot to mention, our present holding facility is comprising of 12 night cells presently, with six holding areas of grass having dimensions of 25 250 square meter to 300 square meter each for a pair. And the night cells comprises of area of approximately 3 by 4 meters. And the diet chart, before starting about the enrichments employed in NVAP, I would like to introduce the diet chart of the captive tigers, because most of the enrichments are done with the feed enrichments, such as in 2 days are kept for fasting, and the remaining days are being allocated with different category of food items such as buffalo meat, along with feed supplements. And in as in feed enrichments, we introduced to the tigers chevron and cutlet. Basically, Monday and Fridays are kept as fasting, and the feeding time is only constituted in the early morning or late afternoon hours, and here we prefer 4:30 p.m. to 5 p.m. And within the time when the animal is showing the stereotypic behavior, we prefer to introduce enrichments in that time, that is during the afternoon hours or the forenoon hours. This is the suggested diet which I have briefly explained now. Now, before implications of the applications of enrichment within the enclosure, the behavioral lithogram of the adult mother and the cubs was studied, in which most of the stereotypic behavior was found within the enclosure facility. And you can see the amount of time which has been spent in the stereotypic behavior compared to safari and enclosure differs from 48% to 22%. And Sheila, which is the mother, which has been found very actively foraging and in the safari rather than the enclosure due to the confinity of the spaces. And the cubs, they are more active in the safari, as well as the activity spent budget spent for the stereotypic behavior is compared less in compared to these cubs. It is less in enclosure, which is 29%, and in time spent in safari, it is more like active time. Then these are the research different types of enrichment types and efficacy, which we are measuring presently. Social enrichment, cognitive enrichment, structural enrichment, sensory enrichments, and food-based enrichments. So this is a summarize. I have table which have summarized for the different types of enrichments which we have used in zoo. Feeding enrichment such as hanging meat and concealing meat within the jute bags and all. So efficacy has been found high in these types of enrichments. It has promoted natural foraging behavior of the animals, and it has reduced the prominent stereotypic behavior, which is spacing. And the observed behavior like effects benefits which has been seen is that they have increase in the foraging time and increase in the exploratory behavior also. Then the sensory enrichments which we use, like different types of spices, cinnamon, and some perfumes like lemongrass oil and all, and some visual stimuli along with some auditory enrichments also we have introduced. And the efficacy has ranged from moderate to high in this type of enrichments employed. Mainly, these are employed to reduce the boredom within the animal, and through this sensory enrichments, it has been seen that animal has been observed more increased scent marking and exploratory activities. Then we have introduced few physical and structural enrichments such as elevated platforms, climbing structures. Then we some logs and bowls where high efficacy in promotion of the physical activity. The animal is engaged almost during the whole daytime, and also in the evening has been seen engaged, and they try to mimic their natural behavior, which they do it in natural habitat. And there were there and thereby it strengthens the physical activity of the animal, and it helps in the mimicking the natural habitat of the animal. And also it has enhanced locomotion of the animal, along with reducing lethargy and increase in the species typical behavior. More is witnessed in the safari rather than in enclosures. Then we have introduced a few cognitive enrichments also, such as puzzle feeders, then training sessions where animals are guided to like assist in the medical procedures, and interactive problem solving tasks. High efficacy is seen in terms of this type of cognitive enrichments where the animal is engaged in stimulating its senses and cooperating with the other like mother and cubs have been seen in properly getting engaged within these enrichments, and until they solve where the how the puzzle feeder, how the meat or how the characters can be found, they are not leaving the enrichment till that time. So, a huge enhancement in the mental stimulation and improved responsiveness has been seen within these enrichments, and also reduced stress during the medical procedures has been observed. Then we have done some visual and olfactory exposures to other conspecifics, such as there are some visual barriers which has been removed, and the tiger is being able to see the leopard from the tiger and in between the tiger and leopard safari, or some mobile transport cages are being translocated near the adjacent tiger safari, where some ungulate species such as spotted deer or barking deer is being uh, kept as a visual display for the animal, and its response towards the visual enrichment, social enrichment is noted. Then we have introduced a few of the environmental variability also, such as rotation of the enclosure substrates, and then rotation of the enclosure furnishments, and also creating of different height platforms such as machans, and also changing the layout of the enclosures, and introduction of some novel items within the facility, and such as fiber troughs, and also some of the hanging poles and scratching posts. So these are some environmental ferrous structures. These are some of the environmental variability which we have introduced, and some waterfall fountains also. So there is a positive behavior which is seen, like they have maintained the novelty of the structures, they haven't destroyed the structures, and though delayed habituation, such as approach towards the waterfall has been delayed, it was delayed, but eventual approach was seen. And behavioral diversity has also increased, like those animals which was seen in fighting, they were engaged and diverted towards use of these different structures to hide, and especially the weak and submissive animals. And then lastly, we have measured the outcome types based on these different types of enrichments. And what we have seen is, like, out of the total 5 types of enrichment preferred across the safari, food based enrichments comprises 59% of all the enrichment applied. It was followed by sensory enrichments, which comprises of 56.4%, and cognitive enrichment was, and along with the social enrichment type, which we prefer to employ, was a percentage was 12.8%. Presently, data compilation in progress is being carried out to measure the efficacy and positive behavior generated in the tigers in NBWAP, like effect of individual enrichment types, and based on that, their efficacy and utilization. We are presently compiling the data. And this is the outcome type which has been measured during the enrichment trials in the enclosure facility. And they have been divided into 2 types, like for behavioral outcomes, as well as the outcomes which are through the indirect behavior. The behavioral outcomes were activity, foraging, and
Request
the
for all the
indirect
please
behavioral outcomes were
Namrata,
enclosure use and behavior
hello.
diversity.
Please
Namrata,
wrap
you
it
can,
up. It's
yeah,
already
it's
15
already been
minutes.
15 minutes, so please conclude, okay?
Okay, ma'am, I am wrapping up, ma'am. Okay,
Okay.
okay, okay. So as per study site in we have studied the 4 enclosures. The efficacy of enrichment and the change of enrichment has been mentioned here, like how many times the enrichment has been changed per week, and what is the feedback of the animals engagement within each and every enclosure has been mentioned here as percentage wise. Enclosure 2 enrichment efficacy has been preferred more exploratory due to the availability of more space within the enclosure, and more structural furnishments. There are some challenges which we have faced during this enrichment applicability, such as more exploratory behavior observations has to be done to tailor the to cater to more species, more this tiger species specific enrichments. Then we need to train the keepers in enrichment design and evolution. And also we have to promote the as we have to promote, being a zoo, we have to promote the visitor awareness without stressing the animals. This is also a limitation to us. And as per zoo, cost and budget limitations are there, and then staff shortages, and species specific research is also limited. and climate and space restrictions also we have to consider here. So there are some future directions which we are trying to apply, is that to develop low cost enrichment prototypes, then implement technology assisted enrichments such as AI assisted enrichments, some feeders, some sensors, uh, and some collaborative networks for, by data sharing among zoos of India and abroad. So these are the few of the enrichment pitches we have successfully utilized to minimize the stress caused due to confinement within the zoo. Yeah, our zoo. So these are some of the enrichments, such as construction of wood walkways, hanging raw meat at certain heights to encourage playful behavior, then concealing feed within the jute bags, and this wooden ball and pool as enrichments. And there are some habitat enrichments, such as creation of majans and concealed meat within the watermelon as feed based enrichments. So, as I would like to draw the conclusion here that enrichment is a continuous process. So, it requires ongoing evaluation and adjustment. Hence, we are on to it presently, and data driven care is also needed. So, presently, we are doing research to tailor our enrichment efforts, and multifaceted strategy is also required, so that different types of enrichments can be blended in a single day or a single week, so that we can have a more fruitful outcome. And future research such as long term benefits and applicability of long term enrichments, especially structural enrichments, can be done. Thank you all.
Thank you, Namrata.
Thank you, sir.
As this was the last presentation, if there is any question, you can directly ask Namrata. I think no. So, to officially conclude this technical session 4, a very long session, I invite Dr. Sanjay Mundal, Associate Professor at the Subhas Open University and Chair of this session, to share his closing remarks. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Tapuji. Firstly, I must convey my heartfelt thanks and gratitude to all the faculty members of Postgraduate Department of Conservation of Biology, Durgapur Government College, as well as Dr. Devnath Parit, the principal of the Durgapur Government College, for organizing two-day international workshop. And this workshop is a very well-crafted workshop, although it's a virtual workshop, but maybe it's a good one, intelligent one. Regarding technical session 4, the thrust area was terrestrial faunal biodiversity and the biodiversity conservation. 19 to 20 research papers are read out in this technical session by the juvenile researcher as well as experienced researcher. And of the 1920 research papers, some of the research papers are really intelligent one and that needs to be published in reputed journals for better benefit of the scientific community. I hope the young researchers will do their research in the future also. Okay, thank you, Tapoji.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for this closing remarks. Before we conclude, I would like to make two important announcements regarding certificates. All participants will receive a participation certificate after filling out the feedback form, which will be shared in the chat box during the vote of thanks. And presenters will receive a feedback link. I think they have already received via the registered email, and upon submission, they will receive their presentation certificate. Please ensure you fill out your respective forms with correct spelling to receive your certificates. Now, I invite Dr. Sandeep Majumdar, Assistant Professor, Department of Conservation Biology, to deliver the vote of thanks. Over to you, Sandeep, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Bhattacharya. Respected dignitaries, esteemed speakers, distinguished guests, and other participants. As we reach the conclusion of this enlightening and inspiring event, it is my honor and privilege to extend our heartfelt gratitude to everyone who has contributed to the remarkable success of this 2 days international conference on living in harmony, celebrating biodiversity for a sustainable future. organized by the Department of Conservation Biology under the institution's Innovation Council, Durgapur Government College. Firstly, we express our sincere gratitude to our principal, Dr. Devnath Palit, for his unwavering support and guidance and for giving the keynote address and welcome speech. A special note of gratitude goes to Dr. Nivedita Acharji, the coordinator IQAC, for giving the inaugural speech at this event. We also extend our deepest appreciation to Dr. Moitei Chakraborty, the convener of this event, for her tireless efforts in ensuring its smooth execution. We are immensely grateful to our distinguished plenary speakers, including Dr. Subhashish Panda, Dr. Ashna Sharma, and Dr. Ranjana Pal, for sharing their expertise and valuable insights, enriching our understanding of biodiversity conservation challenges and solutions. We sincerely thank Dr. Moti Chakraborty, the head of the Department of Conservation Biology, and Dr. Sanjay Mondal, Associate Professor, Netaji Subhash Open University, for chair these sessions. We are utmost thankful to all the presenters. Thank you for sharing your valuable research, thought-provoking discussions, and innovative ideas, making each technical session intellectually stimulating. Your contributions have truly strengthened our collective knowledge. We also extend our sincere appreciation to our participants and attendees whose engagement, questions, and discussions have enriched this gathering. It is your enthusiasm and commitment to biodiversity conservation that inspire us to keep striving for a more sustainable future. A heartfelt thanks to our organizing committee, whose hard work and dedication ensured the seamless flow of the conference. Your efforts behind the scenes were invaluable. Finally, we express our gratitude to all those who, in various capacities, contributed to the success of this conference. As we live with enriched minds and renewed dedication to living in harmony with nature, let us carry forward the spirit of biodiversity conservation and work together to build a sustainable future for generations to come. Thank you once again and wishing you all the very best in your future endeavors. Thank you.
With that, we wrap up this international conference on living in harmony, celebrating biodiversity for a sustainable future. I extend my heartfelt gratitude to all our speakers, participants, organizers, and attendants for making this event a success. May our discussions today inspire meaningful action toward biodiversity conservation and sustainable development. Thank you, and wishing you all a wonderful evening.